like that, and make a hole that deep. It's not got to go to the bottom of the tray. And then we'll say, I want you to pour so many millilitres of water onto your sand tray, and we'll get to predict what's going to happen to that hole before we do it. So you get about your question, what's going to happen to that hole. So some of them will say, the hole will get bigger, it will get deeper. Some will say it'll just disappear, some will say the water might run over the top when the hole fills up. And then say, okay, well then go ahead and do it. So give them a certain
Why did you pour a hole? Why did you pour a hole?
it's just to give them something to focus on. That's all it is. I mean, you don't have to have a hole, you just leave it without a hole.
Because you wouldn't get one of them in nature, so I'm now thinking, where do I find one then in real life?
Okay, no holes in.
You're a hard man, John.
Sorry about that, I spoiled that already.
That's fine. So yeah, so we pour a bit of water on it, and the idea is to keep it a consistent flow, so then just throw it. So usually I'll do a demo of like how I expect them to pour it, just because otherwise the experiment doesn't work and they ruin it. So they just do that. And then I tell them just to stop and leave it, and look at it, and then think about, because I'm going to ask them to describe, first of all, what their sand tray looks like, and then try and explain why it's the way it is. So you've got two key words there that they'll come up with in any exam. So you've got your erosion of the sand here, and you've got your transportation deposition. And then why has it done that? So why has it picked up the sand? Because you've got energy to surface ratio that's taking the water downstream. And then you can then do all sorts of things. So you can make a channel if you want to, or you can just keep pouring more water on it. So the way we've done it in the past is we've made a channel like that. Then we ask them to think about what's going to happen to that channel when you pour more water on it. So the channel will get a bit bigger, a bit wider. You can then introduce a greater gradient by putting something underneath the top. And then get them to think about what happens when you put more water. But when you increase the gradient slope, so there's more energy there.
That was interesting as well, because that's just disappeared now. There's water in that hole until you finish
talking.
talking.
So it's that sort of thing you can talk about, the fact that it's percolating through the sand and so on.
So where's it gone now? So, yeah.
Yeah, there's so much you can talk about. And then, so we'll do that. So perhaps you'll get a great amount of vertical erosion to lateral erosion ratio. And then you can put something in there, like you're saying, a bit of glass or anything that's less.
John?
So far, though, I was hoping that the sides had fallen, but they haven't, so I haven't got that. And we've also just got a straight channel at the moment, rather than any sort of meander.
Is that because you made a channel? What happens if you don't make the channel? Would it?
I think
over
it'll
that
still
short
go
distance,
pretty
still go.
meander.
Yeah. So then, we need something like that, but
That's some rubbish.
but it's got to be like just like a bit of slate or something you just put in there, so the water can't get through it; it has to go around it. So then you can talk about the idea of the water.
Before you do that, just try it once more and see whether the sides fall in. I
It
don't
did
know
a
how far you
little
have
bit
to go.
when you were...
You still don't, so you're still getting a cliff here at the side.
Yeah, a little bit round the cut, yeah. That's going to go soon.
And because this hasn't run out far enough, we haven't really got the idea of a sort of floodplain or a delta or whatever.
So maybe the bigger version is better at times.
Apart from it leaks.
So we could use that. No one's going to care, are they? So you can say what's going to happen. Someone will say it's going to go around it, someone will say it'll go under it. But they all know it's not going to go through it, but they need to explain why it's not going to go through it. And you do that. And then you get to describe and explain why their sand tray looks the way it looks. And then finally we talk about this idea of suspended sediment. And we get them to leave it on their table, and then when we come back from the day's fill and what have we done, you can see how the water's gone clear again, so you've got the load's been deposited. But it's taken several hours to do something. But yeah, there's so much potential with that. And like you say, you could have a longer one, so you can actually see the washout of the river.